Welcome to After Dark. If you haven't seen the show, Season 2, Episode 2, please do that before you see this. This is where we're going to cover topics we never got to on the show. We're just going to loosely talk about these things. Just a very informal conversation with you. NASA's budget could possibly get cut in half as a rumor. I saw a thread somewhere that raising that concern. That would be bad. That would be absolutely terrible for the space program. That would really mean no science. I can't imagine it. I would definitely quit spaceflight if that was to happen. No, I wouldn't. I would be covering a lot more China stuff because they're really huge on doing scientific things with their space program. So, it doesn't really matter to me. It would be hurtful if they did that. I'd hate to see that happen, but there's nothing to replace it. That's a real big concern too. Cutting the budget and then not having a plan. I mean, come on. Also, there's going to be a Chinese space station conjunction with the ISS. This is going to be a first. The International Space Station is going to be able to snap photos of the China space station coming right by them. So they have to be really quick about this too. It's going to be awesome. I'm definitely going to follow this when this happens. So it sounds like, they might be able to get some pretty cool photos out of this. And what else? Also, the NASA's Sphere and Punch, it was supposed to launch tonight. I guess they're continuing vehicle checkouts. That's all the information we have right now. And a new launch date has not been announced. That's a really cool mission. They're going to send 2 separate spacecrafts in the same payload fairing. I'm not sure about the actual mission details. What else do we got? We're going to definitely address the FAA thing and space or Elon Musk. Nothing going much on Twitter, and we've got Blue Sky. I'm just kind of going through here to see if anything has just popped up. We are hiring, so if you know a lot about spaceflight or astronomy, I'm definitely looking for someone on the screen here to be a co-host, and you'd be responsible for doing a lot of the back-end research, communicating with people in that field, so you can get not only rare information, but to get it timely. But also accurately. We just need to make sure they're not rumors either. So I'm definitely looking for a person to do that. We're going to be hiring people locally as well. So still trying to figure out the final layout, how I want to do it. I'm still looking for an actual person beside me as a co-host. And then if that happens, the person on the screen will just be either a spaceflight correspondent or an astronomy expert, or maybe even both. So we will see what happens. Yeah, so the FAA, oh my God. He wants to replace their systems with Starlink. Come on, dude. Come on. The Verizon had a contract with them. They had the same features and advantages as Starlink is claiming to have. So what a waste of money to cancel that contract and then try to shoehorn Starlink into that. So the person that's about fraud, waste, and abuse is doing just that. Also, we're learning, he's trying to gut the NOAA, which is the National Oceanic and Atmosphere agency. I think it's agency. Uh, he wants to do Starlink with that too. Wow, what a surprise. Just one problem. Starlink's not a weather satellite. You just can't with this guy. It's absolutely mind-blowing the way his mind thinks, and he's gotten more illogical as the years have gone by. I kind of used to look up to the guy back in 2015. I started being interested in space in 2014, and then of course this Elon Musk started emerging, and he's the guy behind his Mars visions. And it's like, oh, cool. Oh, he's going to build a ship to Mars. Sweet. So we kind of looked up to him because he was going to be the real deal that was going to kind of lift our spirits up after that whole Mars One debacle where it was a big scam. If you don't know what Mars One is, this was a initiative for a one-way trip to Mars, which means you'll just die on Mars, by a European named Blastrop. God, I can't remember the full name. But they took in funding, people donated to them, they had actual candidate pools broken down, they had, down to like the final four, and then there it went. Elon Musk was then the guy to turn that back all around and give everybody inspiration and hope that we could start getting humanity to Mars. And nobody knew at the time the guy would be like what he is today. He would give presentations and speeches about his rocket and with the Starship behind him, and as 2018, 2019, I started, I watched one of his presentations, and he just started sounding less technical about everything, and he started not being sure of things, and then absolute ambitious time frames, like we're gonna have 2 ships to Mars on 2020. I think that's what he tried to, but here we're in 2025 right now. We're so far from this. He's absolutely, turned into a grifter, and he should have stayed away from the government. He's lost a lot of respect from the space community, and those numbers are still growing. The approval rating on him now is below 50%. No, actually, it's worse than that. It's below 30% of what he's doing with the government. Space-wise, that's probably hovering around 50% now, but that number, of course, is going to get worse. I don't know what else to say about that. You just slowly over time, people started raising suspicions of Elon Musk. Thunderfoot, of course, have been making videos debunking Elon Musk. It's turning out he is correct. He's right. He's been calling Elon Musk out on all of his projects like Hyperloop, Tesla and Cybertruck, also the Boring Company. All these projects are just absolutely failing, but it's the one project that it was great success, which of course is the Falcon 9 and the reusability. Credit to the engineers on that. Remember, they thought of this. Elon Musk didn't think of the landing legs. He didn't think of, what type of thruster fuel to use to help with attitude control for these boosters coming back down. He didn't think of that. It was the engineers. The grid fins, again, a senior engineer thought of that idea. So he likes to take credit of what other people do. He likes to buy companies and then take credit for what that company does. It's absolutely insane and insulting to not only to the public, but to the shareholders, the stakeholders, and of course his fans. So here we are now. Absolutely have no optimism in the Starship program because he's abusing that, to outfit Starship with Starlink already. When You are under an HLS contract to land on the moon, and here you are throwing Starlink equipment on it. They're trying to test payload deployment for the Starlink satellites on their last launch. And it's not the full deal or anything, but again, it's enough to, breach a contract with NASA that, hey, you need to be getting this thing human rated in a timely manner. He's not doing that. We've got quality control issues, as it seems. So, my faith in Starship has definitely plummeted to, I'm probably give that like a 20% approval rating right now. So let me know in the comments, what do you think of Elon Musk and how he's handling things lately? What is your approval rating of Elon Musk? And I know I love SpaceX as a company, so it's like I will always try to contain them in their bubble. SpaceX is SpaceX, and Gwen Shotwell is the president of that company. I will always think of that all as a collective. And Elon Musk is going to be way over here as just somebody in government that shouldn't be in government. So, yeah, and to a lot of people at SpaceX, Elon Musk is actually dead to that company. So, yeah, reality is coming to fruition. F around and find out. Probably gonna end this right here. Hoping to get 2.3 out here in a few weeks. Probably, depending on the news, it's either going to be something that's going to cover something disastrous about a space program or something good about our, something cool that just recently developed in our space program, which I hope something cool does happen. I want to definitely hear more United Launch Alliance Vulcan updates for their next launch. Yeah. By the way, the episode 2.2, what we did talk about was going to Mars the right way, for 2025. We're going to continue that discussion, but more on a micro level. Okay, we got to Mars, but now what? So I can't wait to do that episode. I'm looking at doing that for episode number 4. So do subscribe so you do get notified of that episode. I can't wait to do that. But for episode 3, I kind of want to play it by ear, just to kind of, feel what happens, and then just kind of drive the stake into what I think the audience is going to resonate with. With that said, subscribe, share this with friends. Again, my name is Chad, your host for After Dark. Have a good night.